EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for November 2nd, 2022. The Wednesday video forecast is proudly sponsored by the Walters and Zirinsky team at Keller Williams Real Estate, serving Carbon, Lehigh, and Northampton counties in eastern Pennsylvania. Mention you saw this ad spot on the EPAWA video, and the Walters Zirinsky team will offer a credit toward movers, a 1-year home warranty, or general repairs with any successfully closed real estate transaction. Give Mike and Sarah a call today and find out what sets them apart in the real estate industry. They can be reached at 610-867-8888. Proud sponsors of the Wednesday video forecast. So, not a tremendous amount of stuff to talk about here in this video because it's just going to be dry and warm, very warm. We're going to talk about some reasons why we're not going to get into some precipitation this week, as earlier projected, and how long it's going to take for that to come in here. We have a big high pressure sitting over the region today. Very warm temperatures are going to be in the upper 60s. Some areas getting to near 70 in our southeastern areas. By the way, before I go any further, I just want to remind everybody this Sunday, November 6th, is the debut of the Weather Weeklies videos for this season. So it always is the first Sunday in November. That is this Sunday. So we're going to take a look ahead, much further ahead than we do in these 7-day outlooks, and kind of expand on the long range that we do on Fridays on the public site, on the website, and give our thoughts preliminarily what we're looking at down the road, maybe even some talk about some snow. We'll get into that here in the first Weather Weeklies video of the season this Sunday. So high pressure under control today and tomorrow, so we're going to have mostly sunny skies both today and again on Thursday. So both games, games 4 and 5 in South Philadelphia for the World Series, are going to go without a hitch. No issues at either on either day, not only there but anywhere across our region. We're going to be just a slight step back in temperatures both Thursday and Friday, and it'll be very similar. See the 62 to 68 degree range above me for tomorrow. That's just a slight step back, not much, a couple degrees. And it's just because of this position of the high pressure here, and that's it. Once we get to the weekend, though, the temperatures are going to increase. You're going to get a huge ridge out here. This high moves offshore, and you get this real big ridging that's going to be getting winds out of the south and southwest as we get into the Saturday, Sunday, Monday time frame. And temperatures there are going to be in the 70 to 75 degree range across the entire region. So it's going to be quite warm. We are going to have a cold front that's going to try to move through, or move at us here on Sunday, and here it is on Sunday morning. But you still see this high sitting off to the east here. There's a big high. This is a blocking high, and it's going to run into this high pressure, which extends all the way out to here. So it's going to run into that, and it's going to be like a brick wall, we think, and it's not going to allow it to move any farther east, and just kind of dissipates and falls apart, as you can see here. See that? It just falls apart. Now, this is the most aggressive model, bringing any precipitation to our far, although minor, our far northwestern areas and far western areas of central Pennsylvania. If that's the case, we'll continue to monitor that just in case, but most other guidance just fizzled this out before it even gets that far. Okay, this is the most aggressive model farther east, but it will result in areas farther east, some partly to mostly cloudy skies. It won't be completely sunny here on Sunday as a result of that boundary being in the vicinity. And Monday will also be, we're thinking maybe another partly to mostly cloudy day on Monday in between systems. The next chance for rain will most likely hold off in the middle of next week. So Tuesday we have partly cloudy skies to start, and then mostly cloudy late in the day. And then either at night or here on Wednesday, you might have this system affect us. It's still uncertain how that's going to evolve next week, but we keep pushing this back a little bit. And the big reason for that is because of this huge ridge that's going to be blocking any of these weather systems trying to come in. So we have slightly above average today. That's indicated by this orange color. The darker orange is above average, and then you get into these whites here, and those are well above average temperatures. And conversely, the blues here are slightly below average. Greens are below average. Any of the purples are well below average. So while we are going to be on the warmer side of things, the western U.S. is not, and they're going to get a decent amount of snowfall out in the western U.S. as a result of that. So I'm just going to move this forward, and you see the slightly above average temperatures remaining in place for all the way through Friday. Then we get to the weekend, and we get these reds over top of us, which is the above average stuff. We're very close to the well above average stuff, very close. Over New England, it certainly will be. And again, 70 to 75 is the temperature spread in the Saturday, Sunday, Monday time frame. So it's going to be quite warm. And you can see the western U.S. is much cooler. But then as we go forward in time, these above average temperatures are going to kind of, I'm not going away, but you're going to have just slightly above average temperatures. It might give you enough of a window for something to sneak up here, like in the middle of next week here, and give you. That's why we're not eliminating that chance for the middle of next week for the opportunity for some rain if it can undercut that ridge. But this ridge is still going to be here, and then it finally goes away. I think once we get closer to the middle of the month, it's probably going to be a couple days before the middle of the month, but you're going to have slightly above average temperatures going through at least November 12th or maybe even 13th, right? And then after that, here comes the trough and the cooler air, and we get some slightly below average temperatures following that. So it won't be until we get to almost the middle of the month before we start getting temperatures that are at least where they're supposed to be for this time of year, which right now is in the upper 50s across most of the region. And if it's slightly below average here at this time in the middle of November, you're talking about temperatures around 50 for a high. So it's going to be chillier again, turning chillier again once we get to that point. But it's going to take a while to get there. In the meantime, we're going to have very nice weather, dry weather because of that ridge, or mostly dry anyway. And it's going to be for an extended period, just like this warmth will be. Okay, so if you're a fan of the warmth, you're going to be loving it this week. If you're not a fan of the warmth, and again, it's warmth relative to average. This isn't 80s and 90s here, right? So this isn't. I hear people complaining all the time about this. It's above average, yes, but it's relative. So it's not going to be 80s and 90s and high humidity and all that nonsense. Okay, we're talking about 70 to 75. It's open the windows. It's a nice day. Might even be able to break out the shorts for a little bit, on a couple of those afternoons. But it's not going to be anything terrible. All right, this is going to be very comfortable weather, certainly. And then once we get to closer to the middle of the month, then we'll go back down into the 50s if you're a fan of that. You just have a while to wait for it. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martis. That is your outlook for November 2nd, 2022. Have a great Wednesday.